What's up, everybody? Ty Bartell in with another edition of Coach's Corner. This time, I am joined by the head skipper of the Ursuline girls basketball team, Lavell Turnage, joined alongside one of the seniors, Kennedy Carpenter, one of the leaders, Kennedy Carpenter, for that Irish squad. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Good. How you doing, sir? Good.
Not doing too bad. I'm excited for this season for you, Lavelle. I'm really excited to see what you're going to be able to do with this year. Another year under the belt for you two. Another year to kind of establish this culture here at Ursuline. Talk to me about the excitement you have for this season too, and give us kind of a recap of last season heading into this one.
So last year was a rebuilding year for us. We were 6-16, and so the main focus for the girls and the staff was to make sure we had a good off season. And I think we had a really good off season in the weight room with some conditioning, also planning a lot of different team camps and playing this summer league this summer over in Farrell. So I thought it was great competition for us playing other teams we're not familiar with that brings us outside of our comfort zone to grow together. And so I think the biggest thing we learned this summer is we can trust one another when we're up, when we're down, just to figure out the little things in order to be a better basketball program.
Why don't you take me through this roster? I know Kennedy looks to be a huge part of it too, but what are some other big contributors, big names that we foresee to be on the floor this year for the Irish?
Oh man, of course Kennedy's the head of the snake, but man, there's a list. You have Maisie Green, you got Mary Moy, Carly Casey, Deviana Harris, Kenya Gill, Eva Camuso. I'll be honest. There's a strong 10 that come in and day out, every single day at practice and put the work in. So if I had to, I can't just pinpoint names, but I will give you. I would say 10. There's legit 10 players that can come out here and do something different every single time.
What does that do for you too when you have, I guess, a lot of depth like that and girls that you feel confident you can turn to any given night?
I think it's a very good thing. They put pressure on me to make the right adjustments, make the right rotations, in order depending on who we're playing. I'll say that. And so we've seen a lot of different teams so far from Northeast Ohio that made us make adjustments early on, and I really appreciate it because now we figure out who fits where, what rotations, who needs to start, um, who are the better defenders, who the better scorers are, and so I think that's the biggest thing, putting this puzzle together with piece by piece.
Kennedy, kind of highlight what last season meant for you growing as a player too, and what you were able to learn and take in to help you now lead this team to that next step in this season.
I think I learned a lot being a sophomore, and now I'm a junior. And I had that leadership role as a sophomore, but not as much as a junior as I do now. So I think it helped me grow and learn from the upperclassmen that I had last year. So it made it now easier for me to be a leader for my teammates.
Quick follow up on that, because I've talked with other student athletes that had to take premature kind of leadership roles just because the team kind of needed them to. So they had to take roles like that as a sophomore too. It's not something. It's a fish out of water feeling too, because obviously as a sophomore you're not really ready for that too. How much do you think that experience though is going to be pivotal for you now stepping into upperclassmen season this year, next year as a leader for the Irish? How much do you think that foundation is going to be beneficial to you?
I think it's going to be really beneficial for myself, but more so my teammates, because we have a lot of underclassmen. So me being a leader, but still being young, and then I have people behind me that are also very young. They have to step up and be leaders also. So I'm helping my teammates more so they can see that they'll be in that same position next year.
Apologize too for calling you a senior. You've just played so mature on the court, and I feel like you've been with this program so long. I'm trying to rush it for you too, but it's incredible that you're only a junior and your ceiling is so high. What's that like to be able to coach players like that, though, Coach Turnage? When you have players like of Kennedy's stature too, that just are willing to come in and work and have such a mature poise and presence on the court.
I think it makes my job a lot easier. Of course, I'm always pushing her to be better and better each time, so I never let her really settle. And so, because I know it's not for now, it's for later. And so, but being be able to coach her, not just on the court, off the court, all at the same time, having that relationship, being able to trust her, even if I walk away of practice, I know that the standard doesn't change. And so, just being able to coach her for the past couple years and the next couple years, I'm really excited about. And so, like you said, her ceiling's so high.
Coach, I want to know too, because I feel like you do a great job of helping elevate talent through their years with you as a coach too, and as a mentor. how with like last season too, with maybe when results aren't really showing, how do you kind of still measure growth in players too? Maybe outside of even the stat book, outside of the box score, how are you measuring growth over the course of a season like that where maybe results aren't showing it, but you as a coach, I'm sure, can see it?
I think it's a day by day thing, and so of course we play one of the toughest schedules in the area and possibly in the state. But at the same time, you definitely want to see growth. You're gonna. I don't care what year of you're coaching. You're gonna have a rebuilding year, and you're gonna have multiple years of rebuilding. But in those years, you're working on your character, and you're also working on your team's character. And so, being able to learn from the losses is very, very important. And so, I thought we competed in every single game last year. Of course, you have some powerhouses that are just really good. That's who they are. But the other games, it just showed the lack of experience that we have on our depth. And so them learning from the mistakes, them being able to make adjustments, them learning over the off season was the most important thing that I noticed, and I was very, very proud of. And that's just the biggest thing. Like you can't win them all, you won't win them all. I don't care who you are or what level. And that's something you got to continue to build on and learn from and be a better person from at the end of the day.
For this game too, I always say it takes a little bit of luck and a whole lot of skill to go on those tournament runs, to go and have those type of successful seasons, right? But for every coach, I feel like the goal is always that your team reaches its fullest potential and you're able to max out your potential. For you as the coach, what do you think needs to happen for this team to reach its fullest potential?
I think if we can just being consistently good, and then buying into what the coaching staff is selling is the biggest thing. And and so they set the standard this summer, and they want to make a deep run in the playoffs this year. And so it's starting off on the right foot, being able to do the little things at practice, make practice hard, make the games easy is one of the main focuses right now. And so um, you're right. It takes a lot of luck, but I really believe that if they keep taking it day by day and not skipping these steps, I think they'll be in the right position to make the team successful.
Same question to you, Kennedy, as kind of like a player and a leader, a locker room voice for this team too. What do you kind of see from that perspective, from what you need to do and what your teammates are going to need to do for you guys to reach your fullest potential this year?
I think our biggest thing as a team is we just have to stay focused. With us being so young, it is kind of hard to be mature in certain moments. But as a team, we need to stay focused and on page if we want to get how far we want to get in the playoff run.
Highlight the schedule for me a little bit, Coach. I know you always say you guys you don't shy away, you bolster it up, you beef it up, and you make sure your girls the iron is sharpened, so to say, by the time tournament rolls around. What are some highlights on this schedule for you that you're really excited for?
We open this weekend. I'll say that we play at Berea Mid Park on Saturday, and then we play Walsh on Saturday. Walsh on Sunday. I'm sorry, and then some heavy hitters, and then we play next Friday against Warren Harding. We have other programs as far as St. V's on January 10th that we're really looking forward to, and being able to play. They have a great program at St. V's, and I respect Carly a lot, and so that's one of the biggest things. Of course, Walt the Shields, January 31st at home. They have a great program, and then there's a few others, Canfield, that they have great established programs in the state of Ohio, and so we look forward to those games.
I feel like you've always done a great job of getting that belief built and that buy-in built amongst your team too, amongst all the years that you've been able to coach across a couple of programs. What's your key to building belief in the team and belief amongst the players each and every year?
I think for me, the biggest thing is when I was in high school, I had coaches that believed in me more than I believed in myself, and so my biggest goals in my life that I try to not just teach basketball players but young people is just be who you needed when you were younger. And so I know what I needed and wanted to have, and so like I believe my players. I believe in them more than they believe in themselves. I believe if they wanted to fly to the moon, with two parachutes, I think they can do so. So I think the biggest thing is just loving on the kids, believing on them, and then that's half of the battle, especially in girls basketball. If they believe in you, they will run through the wall and being able to do whatever it takes to win the basketball game.
Kennedy, from a player's perspective, how much of it at this level is physical? How much of it is a mental battle going out there and competing against tough competition?
I would say it really depends on the person, but for myself, I think physically it can be a little challenging at times when, like, if you get injured and then having to come back and being scared or nervous. And then mentally, I think it's hard also because balancing school and then what you're doing with your family after school and then practice can also be a lot. No matter how serious you take school or your sport, I think it is a lot, really depending on the person again, but I think it can be a lot.
Do you feel like the experience that you've been able to gain through those tough times, through those downs, so to say, how has that helped, I guess, shape your leadership, or do you feel like it has helped shape your leadership?
I would say it helps shape my leadership because I can understand more so how everyone feels. I'm not saying for my teammates that have torn their ACLs, I know how that feels because I haven't torn my ACL, but I have been injured before and not been able to play. So I can understand how they're feeling to a point. But I think it helps me grow my relationships with my teammates to help us become closer and have better chemistry as a team.
Coach, for you as in the culture that you're fostering and you're building, obviously you're going to adapt each year depending on the roster. You're going to adapt as the game adapts as well. What's that one thing though in this culture that you're trying to create that you refuse to compromise on? What's that like one key point that we're going to always see on the teams you coach?
The biggest thing is we're going to value the basketball, and that's really key to winning and losing basketball games. And so, if you can take care of the basketball, it keeps you in games you're not even supposed to be in. But then, if you don't take care of it, you're going to lose games you're not supposed to lose. And so, I think that's one of the biggest things we instill. And then another thing we talk about right now is, do you want to get better? So we value about getting better each and every day, and it's not even 100%. It's more so between 1 and 5% is the goal every single day to get better. If anything above that is just you're having an incredible day and we're loving it. But the biggest thing is valuing the basketball.
What do you think is one of the more misunderstood parts about being a high school basketball coach that maybe the fans don't realize or recognize because they only get to see you 2 to 3 times a week for a couple hours on that floor?
I think the biggest thing most people. I was watching a podcast the other day, and it's so true. The biggest critics are the ones in the stands, and so I say to the ones that actually get in that seat as being a head coach, you're more than just a head coach. Some might need you to be a father figure, a brother, an uncle, a counselor, things of that nature every single day. And so, one thing I try to do every single day is fill these young ladies' cups up. And if I run dry, filling theirs up, so be it. That's part of my job. And so, and that's one thing that people don't understand. It's not just about basketball. It's about building relationships. It's about the off the court things as far as it's bigger than basketball. You want to love on them. You want to say I'm there for you. You want to support them in other sports and other academics, accolades as a whole. And so I think it's just people sometimes just think it's just about basketball, and it's not. It's more than just about the orange ball.
Same kind of question, I guess, to you now, Kennedy, from a student athlete's perspective. I know that like your time commitment to and the time that we ask of you student athletes is far greater than I think any time before. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. We're having a little interview prior to the season, right? What do you think is the most challenging part for you being a student athlete in the high school realm, playing high school varsity basketball? What's the thing you think maybe adults and fans don't really understand about that world, that realm?
I would say the biggest thing I think most adults don't understand is how stressful it can be. And like when people say like just play the game or like stop worrying about things, it can be hard to juggle what's going on in your brain and what other things are going outside of your control and that's happening and how it affects you and you don't even realize it. So pushing through that type of things can be hard. And then also school is always when it's a priority on your list, it can always be a lot.
Since I started getting into coaching a little bit with my daughter's teams, Lavell, I've really found myself kind of just really second guessing the things that I do, the approach that I take, the way I coach them, because I always want to make sure I'm doing the right things. And it could just be because I'm a young coach and I'm freshly getting into it. But do you have any, I guess, advice for that type of stuff? Do you have those feelings? How do you combat those?
So my son, he's 8, and he's been playing basketball since he was 4, and so he plays for Boardman. And the coach asked me every year to coach, and I always tell him no because I just want to be dad. I don't want to be Coach Lavell, and he calls me Coach Daddy because that he wants me to coach him. But I just want to be dad, and we talk about the mistakes after and what we need to be better at, and what you did well. But the advice I give you is at a very young age, let them fall in love with the sport, and then as they gradually get older, they'll understand what it takes to go to each level: middle school, high school, college, and therefore. And so, and that's the biggest thing I try to teach with my son. And so, my advice to you, I'll say is, as much as she's learning from you, you can learn from her at the same time also. And it might be the littlest things, and it makes you sit back and think at home later, like, man, like I really just learned something from my daughter, and it makes you feel amazing. It does.
I've noticed too that the people you decide to surround yourself with also have a big influence and big factor on that too, and kind of regaining the confidence and making sure you're approaching things the right way. What's that coaching staff look like around you? What's your support system look like around you? Give them some shout outs.
So I definitely have to give a shout out to my staff, Coach Davidson, Coach Keishan, Coach Mai. They do a phenomenal job. And I'll be honest, when we look good, it's because of them. When we look bad, it's because of me. And so, but at the same time, I give them jobs to do, and they do above and beyond every single time. And so I have to give them the biggest shout out. And at the same time, the administration is supporting very, very well, and I just want to give them a shout out also. They're 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 excited for the season. And I just believe that having the right people around you makes a world of a difference.
When you're able to get all these girls together and you're able to get a good solid practice, and what's your favorite part about practice?
She can tell you this. I tell them every single day. I love what coming to what
Practice.
I love coming to practice every single day. Like I don't care how my day is. I don't care how our practice goes. I love coming to practice because I don't know. It's something different about this group that makes me excited every single day of wanting to get better with them. The hunger, the drive they come with every single day, and so um, they make my job a lot easier. Kind of last year, if you ask me who my favorite team I've ever coached, I'll tell you my last year at Badger. This team has a very, very good chance to go above that team.
Same kind of question to you, Kennedy. What's your favorite part when you're able to get in with all your teammates and you guys are able to get back to the lab, so to say?
I'll just say my favorite part is connecting with my teammates. And even if that's one of my teammates missing a layup and they're like bummed out about it and I'm picking them up almost and there's get that smile on their face. Or if it's me and I'm not doing my best at a move or something and then they try to help me. That I think that's my favorite part is seeing us connect with each other.
Coach, before I let you go, I've been trying to ask theme questions every single year. That's kind of my thing, and this year it's no different. The theme kind of goes into this being more than just a sport. And my question to you is: what moment is there a moment, or is there a time period in time where you realize this job was more than just basketball?
Yes. It was last year when we were getting ready for the tournament game, and I said, I am so happy to be back at home. Only because I've been in a situation where we were bad and we still have fun during the season, and so I've been on teams where we've been really good and it's been miserable. But there's no place like home. Like you just love being at home. I don't care how much winning or losing you do. It's always better just to be at home and being able to represent your alma mater.
Coach, I'm excited for what you guys have in store this season. I know it's going to be a big step up from last year, and I'm excited to see the progression from the team all the way around and all the growth that we're going to see. Kennedy, I'm going to be excited to be able to talk to you a little bit more in depth when we get to do your player profile later this season. But best of luck to you and the rest of the Lady Irish this season on that floor, Coach.
Thank you, Ty. Appreciate it.